Homework, bullying, diseases. It makes sense why parents are exploring alternatives to public school. Many kids hate going to school, so if their parents would have dangled this unschooling ideology in front of them, they would have wanted to do it. You're saying that I can wear pajamas all day and learn based on whether I'm interested in something or not? Sign me up. It all sounds too good to be true. That's because it is, but we'll get back to that in a sec. More than ever, parents are exploring different options regarding their child's education. One option that became popular after the pandemic is online school. Many of my college classes were online, which explains why I only had 2 friends from my university. It's definitely a lonely experience. If you're already raising an iPad baby, online school may be a good option for you. Then there's homeschooling, where your parent becomes your best friend, your teacher, and the janitor. Now, there's a new alternative that's making its way around TikTok. We call it unschooling.
So we don't teach our children anything. Everything that they learn is in response to either their interests or their questions. We have no curriculum. We have no school hours. We really just respond whenever they want to know something and do our best to make sure they really get it.
Wait, what did she just say?
We don't teach our children anything.
Oh, okay, so I did hear her correctly. Not the best way to start a video. Unschooling is an educational philosophy that relies on a child's innate curiosity and desire to learn. In families that practice unschooling, students do not attend school and do not follow any set homeschool curriculum. They're basically saying the kid is in control of their learning. This would have been the ultimate cheat code to never do math again, especially if my parents started doing this when I was already in school for a few years. This means the child has to show interest and ask the parent questions about things that they're curious about. So if they're interested in learning how to write, the parent has to stop what they're doing and teach them in that moment. Well, that was not for me. Last time I'm ever doing that again. That's just the first thing that comes to my mind. Let's see how it works for her.
Math. My son's 6, and it took some patience and not comparing myself to other moms, but this is his book. Look at this. Lamp, egg, jar, lion. This is him doing this by himself, copying down words from other places, asking us more.
Oh my God. Is someone going to clock this, Mom? Because someone has to do it. As someone who's literally worked with multiple first grade classes, I would consider this concerning. If this is the beginning of the year and they're barely starting first grade, I would consider it a little less concerning. But just to compare, when I had a first grade class, they were advanced. Most of those kids came into first grade reading and they were great at writing. I was so impressed constantly. So seeing this, it's kind of sad. But what did she say?
Doing this by himself.
Oh, so he's doing it by himself. That leads me to believe that he doesn't know the words that he's writing. There's no reinforcement, meaning he most likely won't remember how to spell lion. One of the most important parts of early education is the memorization and repetition of ABCs and the number line. Based off her words in the video, it doesn't seem like she sat there with her child and made it into a lesson.
Same with addition. Mom, what's 7 plus 5? It will come at the right time.
Okay, it looks like the mom doesn't know the answer to the question. Why else would she be making that face? What do you mean it will come at the right time? I'm asking you right now. That's a clear sign that your son is interested in math. So why didn't you sit him down, pull out the number line, and help him figure it out? It's giving, please lose interest, please lose interest.
I was concerned that they would never be interested in things like reading and writing and math.
If you want to ensure that your kid is interested in those topics, you might want to change up the approach. Maybe you make those subjects standard so you don't set them up for failure. But if your mom is sitting here making videos spreading misinformation like you're about to see, good luck.
Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, none of these people have ever known what the fuck they were doing. They just trusted in their ability to figure it the fuck out at game time. And almost all of these people went out there and promised the world a product that they, of course, were afraid that they wouldn't be able to deliver, but they trusted in their ability to figure it the fuck out.
That is not true at all. Those people had business plans and initial ideas, or else they would not have received funding. That's besides the point. It looks like she's trying to do the same thing with this unschooling idea. She's trying to figure it the fuck out in the moment. That's kind of scary. I wouldn't use my kids to test whether or not this unschooling idea works, especially during their fundamental years. I had a student who was homeschooled until she was in the 2nd grade. She did not know how to read and write when she came in. She was never taught the fundamentals, and they continue to promote her every year. She's now going into 1st grade with the reading level of a 1st grader. It made me sad every time I saw her struggling because it wasn't her fault. It was her parents' fault. That is what this is reminding me of. Just wait until these parents aren't able to do it anymore. Their kids are going to be struggling. Then I saw she posted a video with a caption that says, "Successful parents unschool." I was like, oh my God, proof? Let's check it out.
So I was just added to a mastermind for people making like a minimum of $250K. And at the same time, one of my videos on free schooling is going viral. So I had like 1.5 million people watching this video about free schooling, and the comments are just going crazy. People are like, oh my God, they're all doing this thing. And I was thinking, man, like, I wonder where all my like unschooling parents are at. But in this mastermind of everybody making like a lot of money on terms they really like, all of the parents are unschooling their kids. And I was like, this is so validating for me, because I want to take like life, education, parenting advice from people that have actually succeeded, and nobody that's experiencing actual success has the time to be a comment troll. So go get them, kids. Thank you.
I don't make $250K, so I guess I don't get it. Nah, the Delulu was real with this one. She was receiving negative feedback about unschooling in her comments. She realized no one was defending this unschooling concept. That shows me that there's not that many people doing what she's doing. You're a trendsetter, baby. But then she claims that everyone in her $250K mastermind class is unschooling their kid. She's trying to invalidate everyone who comments by calling them unsuccessful internet trolls. Well, let's decide for ourselves. This person says, "You never see actual successful results from unschooling because nothing from nothing is nothing." I think that was a brilliant way to describe this. Someone responded to that person, "You are wrong. My son is learning more than he was in public school. Let's not add he has his innocence still at 13. Okay, I can attest that you will not have your innocence after going to a middle school here in the United States. Have him take any test compared to kids in public school then." And then someone else put, "Homeschooling is a great option. Unschooling is not homeschooling." Yeah, let's not get that twisted. We all know that it's not the same, but I would like to see this kid test compared to kids that are already in school. People that are making $250K are not unschooled. They're paying private educators to come to their homes. That is not the same thing as what you are doing. Yeah, I think that's a better description of what people do, especially when they have money and they don't want their kids going to public school. She responds saying, "That is incorrect. Unschooling equals we teach them. What 250K mastermind are you in?" Someone responded to her saying, "How many online IQ tests did you take to convince yourself that you are a genius? Was it less than 2? The last one says, "My husband makes well over that a year, but he and his siblings are in no contact with their unschooling parents and are all in intensive therapy." That's like kind of like a mic drop. Like I wouldn't even know what to respond to that, which is probably why she didn't respond. But everyone else's experiences are different. But there's always a common theme in her comments. Usually people are saying that unschooling doesn't work. After reading those comments, I have to put down an Uno reverse. In my opinion, she's the internet troll and that video is rage bait. But she's not the only one embarking on this journey.
Day one of unschooling, and I've got my kids helping me to clean the car out, teaching them hard work, taking care of the things that you love, that you need, and also just needed the car clean.
Day one, and she's already putting the kids to work. She's literally having them do chores. That's something that they should be doing anyways, on top of their regular schoolwork. I'm curious about this mom's thought process. Do you really think your kid is going to learn more by washing the car instead of having an instructor teach them some curriculum? Wait, she explains what they're learning.
Also teaching them how to follow instructions.
Okay, so what else do we have on the agenda today?
Now they're going to go grocery shopping with me, and we're going to learn about reading labels. We're going to learn about math and money and spending your money wisely.
Yay, we're learning 3 things today.
Groceries, you need to make sure that the quality of it is good. So turn it over on each one, make sure that there's no molded ones. Make sure they all look pretty good. And if they do, put them in their buggy. So far, we got 2 bags of yellow potatoes. We make homemade french fries. We have bananas, 2 things of grapes, 3 things of blueberries, 2 things of strawberries. You see the prices on them right here? You typically want to make sure that you pick the lowest price. And if it's a low price and it looks like it's a good apple, like Honey Crisp are good apples, we can get a bag of those. So we're going to get a whole pineapple because if we get a cut one, it's more expensive. It's cheaper to just get one yourself and cut it. Make sure that you open them, make sure they're not broken. All good. All right, so when you're reading the labels, I want you to just notice where it says includes added sugars. How many does that say? 0 on that one and 15 on, so we don't want sugars, right? So you're gonna get that one, okay? And the whole point of this is that I have so much more time with them to teach them things like this that's gonna actually help them in life. Like actually help them in life.
Maybe it's just me, but I didn't see the mathing at all. I don't understand how this is considered an unschooling lesson. It's important to teach them how to read food labels, but don't you want to ensure that they're proficient at reading so they're able to read those labels? Maybe so they actually understand it? You did ask him how much added sugar was in the yogurt, but before he was able to respond, you answered the question for him. So how are you going to measure performance if you're already answering questions for him? I'm just saying. These are life skills that aren't comparable to actual curriculum. These are things that you should be teaching them anyways. How many grocery trips will you take before they're like, Mom, we get it. Haven't I graduated from this course already? I made sure that there was no mold on the strawberries and I always got the cheapest apples. So can we move on to something else, please?
I want to talk about how I'm actually able to unschool or homeschool my kids. Because a lot of you guys are actually stay-at-home moms and you like getting the break from your kids and sending them to school. Trust me, I get it. I am the same way. I'm like, please take this kid. Am I really excited about doing unschooling and having both of my kids full-time all day, every day? I can't really say yes.
We all deserve a break sometimes. But let's not compare teachers, school counselors, and principals to babysitters, because these are credentialed staff who went to school for years to be able to teach your student.
Yes, but I'm grateful that I'm able to do this because my child's future and his education, both of them, it matters to me, okay?
Does it though? Then why are you taking your kids out of school where there are credentialed teachers who learn specific skills to help your child?
The reason I'm able to do this is because 5 years ago, I started working from my phone. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, okay? A lot of you guys on here are like, oh, you have followers, that's why you're successful. No, I didn't have this app at all. I started from 0, just like everybody else does, okay? I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I just knew that I had something that I loved that made me feel good, and then I started sharing it with people. And then I started realizing, oh shit, like because I'm passionate about this, because I love this so much, other people want to try this too. And so then I started selling it, and then I started making a lot of money. And so if that's something that you want to do, like if you're looking to be your best self, become healthier, become like the person that you really dream about being, I can help you do that. If you want to make money by doing so, I can help you do that. You just have to take the chance and be coachable and be willing.
Oh wait, this was clickbait. This was just to get people interested in what you do. Some fresh recruits for that multi-level marketing scheme.
My comments, not all of you, most people in my comments actually are homeschooling or unschooling, and I love that. We built this community of people, this community of like women that really just think the same, and I fucking love that. Like that's been my goal this entire time with this platform is can we create a community of people that all think the same, and we've done that. So
we get it. You want new recruits. What else will you do to ensure that your child is learning?
I'm going to take him grocery shopping. We're going to start a garden, doing lots of gardening, lots of hands-on stuff to teach him these things, not just reading out of a fucking book. which is what's wrong with public school.
I think your kids will enjoy that a lot. But what do books ever do to you? She keeps putting such an emphasis on hating books. It just sounds a little too personal. It says entrepreneurship for dummies. This book was made for me. Why don't I get it? Maybe she did free schooling too.
I'm going to teach him how to set boundaries with people. I'm going to teach him how to create friendships and connections with people.
That may be a little hard to do. If he was at school, he can do all those things independently as you guide him through those relationships. Wait. How would you do that when this is your stance on people? If the worst thing that happens to my kids from unschooling is not knowing how to socialize, I think I'll be fine. I never leave my house and I don't like people either, but I'm still happy and successful. Ha 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 ha. It's giving you don't want your kid to have friends. I don't think that's what she's really saying.
The biggest lie that we've ever been told in our lives is the fact that we need to go to a school where there's 30 other kids in our classroom so we can socialize with these kids that we have no idea who they are.
Actually, that's exactly what she's saying.
We need to build these socialization skills through going away from our parents for 8 hours a day. It is the biggest lie in the history of life, okay? We don't actually need socialization skills. We need to know how to communicate, which you can do with your parents. We need to know how to connect, which you can do with your parents. And those are skills that you take for the rest of your life to make friendships.
She said you don't need socialization skills. You need to learn how to communicate and connect, which you can learn from your parents. It's still important to have friends your own age and to socialize with people that aren't your parents though. So this is a little bit of a wild take for me. Mom, I think I'm ready for my first friend. I don't think you're ready yet. Maybe when you're 21.
But those are the skills that you need that you can learn inside of your home. Because what happens when you send your kid to a classroom for 8 hours a day with 15, 20, 30, however many fucking kids, all day, every single day? Guess what that does? That is outside influences impacting your child. And realistically, you're not raising your child alone. You're raising your child with the schooling system, because what they're going to learn isn't just coming from you. The beliefs that they're going to have aren't just coming from you. You're raising your child with everyone else. That is why I'm choosing to unschool.
Wow, my head hurts after listening to that one. So you won't let your children go to school because they will be influenced by other kids their age? So they won't be able to make friends that they choose to be around because they're just outside influences impacting your child. I get it. Gen Alpha is scary, but being home with this woman is scarier. All this because you want your child to believe what you believe? Sounds like control issues to me. This free schooling idea doesn't seem so free anymore. Honestly, it just seems like this mom doesn't like to be told what to do, because this free schooling idea started out as one-sided beef with the teacher.
It's a paper that had a signature side and a date side, and she told him, didn't say nothing to me, told him to tell me I needed to take his homework out of his folder every single night, sign and date this piece of paper, and send it back to her every single day. Now listen, I took that piece of paper out and I said, I'm not doing that, baby. That has no benefit to you at all. I have 4 kids and I run a massive business through social media. I don't have time. Literally, I put it on the counter and have it signed.
All the teacher did was ask her to sign a paper every single day. All the parents were probably asked to do this, not just her. You don't even have to check it. All you have to do is sign it. Everything that this girl has mentioned is more demanding than just signing a paper. She runs a massive business on social media, so she doesn't have time to sign a paper. So taking your children out of school gives you more time? This is giving me a headache. Are you doing free schooling because homeschooling would take too much time? That's kind of how it's coming off to me. I think having a little bit of structure curriculum will help you on this journey. You should have just signed the damn paper.
I'm
not a homework mom. I'm not doing that shit. He's with you for 7 to 8 hours a day. Get that shit done in school. The time that he comes home, that's the time that we're spending together, not doing homework, okay? So I'm not doing homework. Also, I'm pretty hard to get a hold of, and I don't think she likes that. But it's like really hard to get a hold of me. So if you need me, call me. I'll answer the phone. Don't be texting me over some app. That's just not my thing, okay? And so that's two things about me as a parent of a child who is currently in public school.
That is the only thing that I will agree with you on today. Kids shouldn't get homework every day. It's a bit much in my opinion. But again, I'm going to have to put down an Uno reverse because you're having a power trip, honey. The teacher has 20 to 30 other kids, potentially 40 to 60 parents to deal with. It isn't because you're an influencer or that you run a business. Sending a mass message through the app is way more convenient than calling each parent individually. Teachers don't get paid enough to even consider each parent's communication style. They literally don't have time. A social skill that you clearly never learn is compromise. The world does not revolve around you. This is giving adult tantrum. In the end, they're going to choose how they get to raise their children. Even though this idea of unschooling makes it seem like the child is in control of their education, there are a lot of other aspects that scream red flag, especially the way that these two ladies explain unschooling. It's like they saw a couple videos on TikTok and read a blog post about the topic, then decided to do it while posting their experience on TikTok. I just hope they have a plan and their kids don't suffer because they decided to unschool. To anyone who is looking to start unschooling, I'll just leave this here.
Baby, stay with me. Living for the highlights, living for our dreams.
Let's look at a few comments before we go. Grew up homeschooled and the unschoolers I knew were straight up neglectful. I'm so glad you got out. As an academic homeschooled family that interacts with unschoolers often, yes, it's a disaster. I was unschooled and it was just neglect. Kids grow up to be adults. When they're older, they tend to resent not having the same level of competency as their peers over extra playtime. The last comment says, "What matters is realizing there are issues and making necessary changes. Good job, Mom." I wonder how this is going to work for them. Will their parents thank them when they grow up, or will they resent them? We'll find out in 15-ish years. I hope they post it for all of us to see because I'm very curious to see how this turns out.